Where are all the nurse players this update? If you felt no change during this update in regards to seeing nurse players, you aren't alone. I expected to see an increase, at least in the first week, but it doesn't seem that happened. During the time of writing the script, I have not faced a nurse since the update, but in time of editing, I have faced 4, which still isn't a lot. In regards to my own circle, they report similar or less than that. Despite many of her add-ons being nerfed, along with her blinks going from M1 to M2, aka making them special attacks, meaning Starstruck, Haunted, Other Exposed, no longer work. I do think Nurse is still among the highest tier next to Blight, but what if we didn't include her add-ons and just focused on her base kit? I think there's an argument that base kit Blight is equal to base kit Nurse, especially since Nurse was brought down. However, as someone who has little experience in Blight, I would love to hear thoughts on this perspective. If we compare their add-ons though, at least, I think Blight has more oppressive ones. Although I'd argue that Campbell's Last Breath and Torn Bookmark are very close to his scale of oppression, which I'll definitely talk about later in this video. Overall though, we can all attest that Nurse was 100% nerfed, and I really do believe the player base felt this change, which might be why we are seeing no increase of Nurse post-update, which is not really common whenever a killer is changed. It's also worth noting that Nurse's chase music, Terror Radius, all changed this update as well, and not everyone likes the sound change when playing her. It's been commonly reported that it has become more difficult to hear survivor noises due to audio levels in the chase, which I can attest to. So let's go over her new add-ons, as range recharge have been completely removed and replaced. Starting out, Dark Cincture increases the movement speed during chain blink window and before fatigue at 30%. I find this add-on overshadowed by better ones, as I don't think the speed makes much of a difference, but you may see usefulness pairing with Heavy Panting, which is a 30% longer lunge after chain blink, kind of like coup de grace. Although you might find pairing Heavy Panting with any other add-on a better choice. Being able to have a 30% longer lunge makes your blink attacks more forgiving, allowing for more patience between baiting dead hard and space for mistakes with short blinks. Fragile Wheeze is an add-on replacement for Sloppy Butcher, applying the Mangled status effect and blink attacks. It's decent, although I didn't really try it much since finding out it's bugged. It makes all healing actions take longer, mending, even recovering as a slug player. It's not supposed to work this way, it's supposed to just focus on healing actions. Hopefully this will be fixed soon. These two add-ons, Catatonic Voice Treasure and Ataxis Respiration, both got nerfs. Catatonic went from 100% to 65% chain blink fatigue reduction, and Ataxis went from 12.5% to 7% overall. I'm not sure why these got nerfed since they weren't very strong to begin with, so if anyone has any ideas, please let me know. I thought maybe with the last video I posted that there was a reason, but playing her now, I don't know. I don't get it. Cabinaw's Last Breath applies the blindness status effect on all survivors within 8 meters. I feel like this would have some niche uses in certain builds, but I haven't tested it much. Jenner's Last Breath was overtuned in PTB and was nerfed in live, thank goodness. Once using all your blinks, you can return to your original position and it replenishes 1 blink. Not 2, like PTB, just 1. This is still strong, but not as forgiving as having both blinks back. The only way to achieve 5 blinks is to use it with Torn Bookmark, therefore having a longer recharge time. Pairing Jenner's with Campbell's Last Breath, however, has lethal results. This was one of the add-ons that I underestimated, but oh my god. Has crazy map pressure. After appearing with the fully charged blink, you will automatically fully blink forward if you still have remaining charge. This was buffed since her second auto blink is now 20 meters instead of 12 meters, which is the same as her first blink. So basically you're getting 2 first blink lengths in one add-on. In comparison, the previous double range add-ons equal to about 42 meters, whereas this one goes up to 40 meters if used fully. So this add-on's potential is very strong. Badman's Breath received the buff, already becoming one of my favorites. Hitting a survivor with a blink attack causes the undetectable status effect for 25 seconds and has a cooldown of 45 seconds. You get a lot more value out of this add-on, and it's really, really fun with Oblivious builds, and you're definitely going to see more videos or more games on this channel soon. It's one of my favorites to use with Dark Devotion and Trail of Torment and my Peekaboo No-Tear Radius Nurse. Think of a Myers that can blink. It's terrifying, but super fun, so definitely recommend it. Any nurse can easily use this and get value, 100%. Torn Bookmark looks the same, but it still gives you 3 blinks technically, but it's at the cost of 30% longer blink recharge, a buff from 50%. This can be fun with Jenner's Last Breath, but it's actually more lethal with Campbell's, something I also underestimated. Regardless, these 3 blinks on its own is really strong, especially since they combine the old recharge add-on into this. Matchbox limits Nurse's blink to 1 and increases her movement speed to 4.4, which feels a lot better than her previous 4.2. However, there seems to be a bug right now where Jenner's Last Breath works with it, which is weird because the update states that it can't be combined with other add-ons. I'm I don't know. I'm kind of sad that if that's the case because it's pretty easy to counter by holding forward, but okay, have your fun while you can, guys, with it. I was recommended to try Dark Cincture with it because it gives you movement speed before fatigue, and with the 4.4 meters per second movement speed of this add-on, I think it actually helped with keeping distance and I got lunge value. I'm not sure because I didn't really play without the add-on aside from with Jenner's. Here's some situations where it looked like it actually had some sort of value. At least chat thought so too. So let me know what you think. The strongest combination of add-ons, though, out of everything we mentioned, has to be Campbell's and Torn Bookmark. It is fucking nutty. It is crazy. Mainly due to map pressure and versatility. Normally when you're learning Nurse, first blink is your movement blink to catch up or gain line of sight, and then your second blink is your correction. So if you think about it, the 40-meter blink is technically 1 blink, just combined. So your third blink's your second correction, right? Anyway, regardless, it's very fucking good and it synergizes way better than I thought, where I think it actually makes Campbell's easier, but I'm not too sure. It's a shame Jenner's is a bug on Matchbox, as I had a lot of fun using it on live servers. I also think it would be easily avoidable by just running forward because you're limited within 20 meters. Like, there's no way, like, if you're double backing against a Jenner's Matchbox, just context clues, she has 1 blink, what are you doing? Like, you don't gotta do that. However, that's a bug, right? That those 2 add-ons shouldn't work together, but they have a counter. Meanwhile, Campbell's offers 52 meters of coverage with Torn Bookmark. I don't get it. You're gonna let 52 meters stay in. Not saying you should get rid of the 52 meters of range. I think it's quite fun. Some people would disagree. I feel like survivors against a nurse who knows how to run Campbell's is gonna have issues with countering that than Matchbox, which is just like, here's an instruction manual, hold forward 20 meters, don't double back. I know like they can technically catch up with her movement speed, you could argue, but dodging a nurse with 1 blink, it's terrifying, but she's got 1 chance, right? Regardless, this lady has 3. But it's fine. It's allowed in the game. Anyway, I'm ranting at this point. Okay, we're done discussing add-ons, but there's one thing we really need to discuss. The Survivor HUD. Nurse felt the strongest in lobbies with minimal communications and information, even among good players. This all changed after the update. Now, survivors receive information such as productivity of chase and what the other survivors are doing, and this allows a greater efficiency than before. So, it's a buff to survivors as a whole. You will feel this in your games, especially if you struggle to play optimally before or relied on exposed perks to assist you. Now, I don't think this is a bad thing. I'm actually really proud that they finally put solo queue survivors up on par with communication with Survive with Friends. I think that should be in the game. I actually think that this is good. But I'm just going to point it out because as a nurse player who might be learning, struggling, inconsistent, relied on these add-ons, perks, etc., you are going to feel you're not just going to feel the nerf of the killer, you're going to feel the nerf of the killer and the efficiency of the other team. That's just how it is. The skill ceiling as nurse has increased. But I feel a lot better with the nerfs in regards to Jenner's Last Breath, although a bit sad that it's not going to work with Matchbox, as you heard earlier. Campbell's last breath is my only concern. I do like that it takes a higher skill ceiling to get consistent results compared to just slapping range on and just calling it a day. So I'm not really entirely sure of its potential. But you'll be seeing some games of it on here, so check out my Twitch where I'll be live testing this stuff out. This was just a quick summary of how I feel. Hopefully, I don't want to get too much into it because I do have other videos to work on regarding testing these add-ons with actual players and their reaction, especially when it came to my Peekaboo Notarius Nurse. But I just want to mainly say, since I started playing Nurse in 2018, these have to be the coolest combination of add-ons I've ever seen. So great job, Behavior. I think this was a really good balance for Nurse. You didn't make me hate my own killer, except for maybe the Terror Radius and the chase music. Terrarius is fine, I should say. The chase music is just... I have issues with audio. Audio occlusion in this game needs some work. Behavior also made it so the stronger add-ons take more of a skill or a learning curve than the other stronger add-ons that were easier to use, therefore increasing Nurse's skill cap. And we can kind of see this because, as we said at the beginning of this video, there's not many nurses that suddenly decide, oh, I'm just gonna pick this killer and have a good day with her. There's a lot of nurses that I've faced that are struggling. They're not really hitting their blinks. They're feeling it. I can tell. And that's good. Good job, Behavior. Anyone else that says the nurse wasn't nerfed, just link this video. They might just be looking at these add-ons and see the potential. I have like 4,000 hours in Nurse, like 80,000 blink attacks. You can't look at my content and say, oh, this killer is overpowered. How many people are going to no life, don't touch grass, one killer in this? Not very often. You know, so just ignore them if they make you upset. I'm having a blast with this update. This has replenished my love for Nurse and also just made something new in a character I really enjoy. So I'm hoping this video will also show people that the add-ons are super fun, maybe encourage some scared nurses who are too afraid of the update. I can actually relate to that. I was afraid of playing Huntress because I felt the nerf to killers because survivors were buffed, right? But it actually was still fun. You're gonna have rough games. It's an adaptation. I'm hoping this video will break down and make you more comfortable with my favorite killer, right? And I just want to see more nurses in the fog. Where are they? I don't know. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts later.